Oh my God, we're back, and we're back. It's the craziest week of sports in New York in a long time. You know, it's so crazy. We really don't have a lot of time to vamp. Usually we start the show off and we talk a little banter for about 10 minutes. I don't think we have time for that crap.
No,
we got to
banter.
get into it. We're going to start off, it's fresh. It's brand new. There's not really much going on, but it's still exciting. We're going to talk about some... So Rangers puck drop yesterday, first game of the season, come out strong against the rival Pittsburgh Penguins and Sidney Crosby, and a lot to like. I gotta be honest with you. I didn't see much of the game at all, guys, because I was watching. Obviously, it's playoff season. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot, and that's why there's three of us, because there's always somebody to watch the other thing and try to keep it all together, right? Because I don't think at any given time is there more than like 3 sports going on in New York at a given time.
Yeah, I was literally watching the Mets ending, beginning of the Yankee game and the Ranger game, and I only saw the first quarter of the Ranger game, which really all you needed to see because they won 6-0. You're up 3-0 by the end of the first, so it didn't really matter. But Crider's 2 goals, Lafreniere with a goal, and Hedl, who I'm excited about because I think he's healthy now. I think him in that line with Kako and Cooley is going to make some big noise this season.
I think Vinny Trocheck had a goal too, didn't he?
I can't remember all of them. It was 6 of them. I knew 4 of them.
The new kid on the Rangers got one.
Oh yeah, Carrick got one. Yeah, I can't remember who the 6th one was. It might have been. It was Laffy, Kreider 2, Hedl, and then Carrick, and then maybe it was Trocheck.
I think it was Vinny. I don't ask me why, but by the way, I love me some Vinny Trocheck.
Oh hell yeah,
the captain. Just saying.
Does Trouba still have the C? I didn't see the game. Is he still wearing a C?
Yeah.
That's fucking pathetic.
All the promo stuff has him with the C on it. So I guess they don't want to redo all their promo shit.
What's
That's
pathetic is the first goal, everybody thought it was Trouba's goal, and then obviously you see it on the replay because I was watching it live, and the camera kind of hides it because it's coming from the other side of the ice. The camera's on this, the close side, and Trouba was on the far point and threw it to the net through traffic, and you can't see that character just absolutely lays his blade on the ice and just redirects it perfectly up top. Beautiful play. Great way to start the season, and then just to keep it rolling against the Penguins makes it so much sweeter.
Good old Rusty.
Yeah, listen, it's nice to see them come out and win. It was nice to see Igor Shesterkin play on his head. Right. And he made a couple big saves really early on. So let's just roll right into it. This brings us into the contract dispute because the question is Igor, according to Kevin Weeks, supposedly turned down $11 million a year for 8 years, $88 million. And the speculation is he's waiting for the cap to go up because it's supposed to go up going into this free agency when he would be a free agent going into this offseason after the season. The cap is supposed to go up or expected to go up, and supposedly he wants to be the highest paid player on the Rangers. I think that's a little crazy for multiple reasons. You can't invest that much in a goalie, and it's so crazy how fast people forget Rick DiPietro and the ridiculous groundbreaking contract that dude got, and then absolutely did not earn 1 cent of it. No. Let's call it what it is. I believe he got hurt like that next season almost immediately and never came back, or tried but never really came back. And last night I feel like everybody was all over it because this is obviously the talk of Rangers Twitter. Everybody's all over it, like, oh, this is the guy. This is the guy you want to let go and get somebody else. And at the end of the day, unfortunately, the way the league is, yeah. Because if we had a halfway decent goalie last night, we still win 6-4.
Yeah. And the defense
we don't need shutout.
Good.
Like, it's not something that you need. You don't need a goalie that's going to have 0.974 per save percentage. That's amazing. But that's what lulls the Rangers into that, oh, we're up by a goal. We can hold it out for the entire third period. That's the shit that we hate as Ranger fans. Like, we're really playing on our heels right now.
Yeah.
Minutes, right? Going in and out. You still got me, Rook?
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, we can see you're not moving. You look kind of like Kermit the Frog right now because you're like this.
I thought he was. I heard him.
We hear you. We hear you fine. It's just that you froze for a second. You like Fozzie Bear with the mouth open, like it was wild. Now you look like this.
Now we lost him.
Now
I think as he was saying, I kind of agree with him. Like, you don't want to invest all that money in a goalie, not have any goal scorers, and that's the problem with the Rangers. In the past, what he was trying to say was that they usually just sit on the puck or just sit back and let Igor do all the work when they're up like 3-1 in the last period, and then next thing you know, they're 10 minutes in not having the puck, no offensive possession, and it just gets frustrating to watch. And that's not what we want to see as Ranger fans. We want to be aggressive on people who score. So I totally agree with TJ. And even though it's confusing me, there's two of them right now, and they're both frozen. he looks just as confused as us on the one below on the backstage one. But as we wait for TJ, I mean, hey, listen, this has been a crazy week for New York sports between being on and off the court, or ice or field, whatever you may be. It's been an awesome week in New York sports, and it's been a lot to talk about. So
extremely excited. I'm excited about hockey. That by the way, that 6th goal was
it was Trocheck, yeah.
Right. Who I love, and again, I just disgusting that they have fucking Trouba wearing a C. If ever there was not a team player after what happened this offseason, it's that guy.
Yeah.
And my point of view with the whole Igor and whether or not he should be getting paid $12 million a year. The only thing I had a problem with was somebody said Henrik would never. And then you go back and you look at Hank's last contract, and it was literally more of a percentage of the cap than the one that Igor's looking to get. And it's like, really, Hank would never. Hank did exactly just that.
Yeah. So, I think at one point he was the highest paid Ranger, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Which is what Igor wants. But
as we sit here, Yankee game just started. Gleyber Torres leads the game off with a double to start the game.
Oh, well, remember,
you know what?
Hey, just do me a favor. Give me a little hot second before you start going in there. Remember, I'm delayed over here.
I'll try to contain my excitement over this.
Like a hot second, like
this year. Lot of expectations for the Rangers. Is there any player in particular that you're looking for a big season from?
Hedel, man, I'm excited. I changed my name to the Hedel Resurgence Tour because
that you?
That was me. And I made my profile picture, me, you, and TJ in Ranger jerseys, and I made my put my New York Rangers border on the other side.
Soto with the single right field scores Gleyber Torres from second base. Yankees up 1-0 here in the first. You know what I really loved? Well, you know what? I'm going to get into what I really love about this right now. I gave you 5.
I don't know what the delay is because now it's much longer than what it was before when you said Gleyber hit a double.
I was a little late on the Gleyber hitting a double.
Oh, that's why.
I saw it happen, and then I was watching the replay when I saw the Gleyber double. I was watching the replay.
Yeah. Good start.
But I actually, is there anybody that you think that you're like, we have to see a big year from this guy, or else it's sayonara, sucker?
I think we all know who that is, and I think we're all kind of a podcast favorite here. But Kako,
you know what? And I really like the kid, but he needs to put up or shut up this year. This year is the put up or shut up year for Capo Kako. I like him a lot. There's a lot of promise, but it's about time that promise comes to fruition, and we see some results on what we were not what we were promised, because I don't think there's any promises made with anybody.
No.
But just the potential you have to meet your potential at some point. I see a lot of good things, but those results, those things need to result in points. If they're not resulting in points, then they're just good things. Like, you're playing in the corners. I get it. But even the grittiest of players, you can't make as much money as you're hoping to make if you're not scoring any points. And B, you're not pulling to your full potential if you're not putting up those points. And maybe that potential is on another team. I don't know. I would hate for that to be the case, and I really want the kid to work out, but he's got to show us something more than what he's been showing us.
Yeah, I think with Kako, it really could be just maybe something in his head. Maybe sometimes, with young guys like that, it's always a change of scenery kind of gets them going again. And we see that in football. I mean, look at
I think sometimes the change of
Smith and Sam Darnold, and
I think the change of scenery kind of works sometimes because there's so much. Think about this, right? You moved recently, right?
Yeah.
How much stress was there involved with buying a new house, packing up your family, moving across towns? You only moved a few towns, but imagine you're moving across the country to another city.
I moved literally 10 minutes away at the same
time.
Right.
But think about that.
I can't imagine going to another city. I couldn't imagine when they
any pressure,
any pressure that you might,
yeah.
So like when players talk about not getting traded and hating moving from, like, I totally get it because I moved 10 minutes and I'm like, this stinks.
As Aaron Judge hits into a ground ball double play, 6-4-3. Yeah.
His at-bats are just becoming just go to the bathroom time because nothing's going to happen.
So I
almost like he's not clutch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see. We'll get into that, but it's not clutch. If it's the first fucking inning, it's not a clutch moment. You're not clutch.
No, but in the middle of a game when it's bases loaded, nobody out, and you can't lift the fucking ball into the outfield.
Guy, it's not.
Don't
clutch.
say guy. Don't say guy. I know you. I know you hate Derek Jeter, but that guy was the most clutch guy ever. If he got up at the plate with bases loaded, you're walking away with a run every time.
Unless it was like the third inning, he would wait to the ninth, and I'd be sitting there shitting bricks. I wish just one time he'd have won a game in the first.
That's great. How long have you been waiting? Because what we saw so far is the Yankees win because of walks, and Garrett Cole gets shelled, gives up the first two flyouts in the first inning of Garrett Cole's first outing was at the warning track. So it's like, okay, the home run's coming. The very next inning, a home run comes. And then the Yankees are playing catch up that game. They literally didn't win that game. It's just that Kansas City lost that game. Their pitching staff blew that game.
Fella, we're not there yet. We're still talking about hockey.
Yeah, I think we're past it. I think we're past hockey.
No, I mean, we didn't talk about anything extra so that I could spend a little extra time talking about hockey. And we were talking about expectations. He was saying he expects Hedl to have a big year, and I was saying I expect Kako to live up to the fucking first round pick, number 2 overall that he is. Wait, number 2. Number 1,
yeah, number 2 overall.
Number 2 overall.
So
what I was saying.
Yeah, we were trying to say, like, for this season, who do you expect to make a big step, or who are you looking or needs to make a big step? So we'll move to you, TJ, because he was talking about Kako. But so I said Hedl, he says Kako, and then
sure. How about Zibanejad actually show the fuck up?
That'd
be nice.
Before January.
Yeah, before.
Like, he didn't show up at all last year.
No, there was
he was useless.
No Mika March.
He was completely useless last year. So, which is amazing because I think he still had 30-something goals, almost 40 goals.
Him and Kreider, they scored a lot of garbage time points.
Dude, and in the playoffs, Mika was pointless to even play him. And we get, the Rangers like to get stuck in this mode, often like the Yankees of, well, we paid him and it doesn't matter that he sucks. And we have a plethora of talent in the minors. We can't obviously sit a guy we're paying millions of dollars when easily you should have brought somebody else up last year in the playoffs.
I think it's a little different in hockey than it is in baseball. Only reason I say that is because in hockey there is a cap. I love when people are like, oh, the cap isn't real. And then people fucking forego the cap and like, fuck it, the cap's not real. And 4 seasons down the road, when they played all that money back, they back-ended all that money. They can't sign anybody, and the team really sucks at that point. And you're sitting there going, why is my team so awful? It's because they're paying that contract that you didn't think about 4 years ago.
To be fair,
that's the Rams right now, right? Fuck them picks.
No, to be fair, the biggest perpetrators of what you just spoke about were the Chicago Blackhawks. And they got multiple championships out of it. So any fan that I know of the Rangers would be like, oh, we're going to win 2 cups in 4 years. yeah, I don't give a shit. Fuck this team up for the next 20. I mean, you wouldn't sign up for that right now.
No, but I don't think that I don't think that first of all, I don't think it works that way anymore. If I'm being honest, like it's time.
No.
Of course, baseball there is no cap, so there is nothing.
It's shenanigans. It works that way for teams like the fucking Tampa Bay Lightning when all of a sudden they have to bring Stamkos out of retirement. It's like, oh no, his $10 million don't hit the cap. What?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
Exactly.
Well, the injury thing. What was it? Whenever someone's so you get injured, you could.
Oh, and Eichel was injured until he wasn't.
Well, that and
Eichel was never playing hockey again. By the way, when he was traded, Eichel was never playing hockey again.
What was it about that? I'm talking about like I think it was the Knights did it last year, but Tampa Bay Lightning were notorious for it. They would always say not they would say, but someone was injured, they would make a trade like someone who has a high cap, because you could balance off the salary. So if you're injured, your salary comes off the salary cap, and you could replace it with somebody else's, and then you would make do whatever you have to do during the postseason to make sure everyone's back on. Next thing you know, you have two studs getting paid, the same amount. But
there shouldn't be a cap in the NHL. Why? So teams like the fucking Utah Hockey Club don't ever exist. That's why. We can't think of a name. We're not clever enough, so we're going to wait a whole year and waste all your time.
They're not wasting time. It's actually, from a business point of view, it's actually really smart because everybody's going to buy jerseys and hats and shirts that say Utah Hockey Club this year. And then next year, when they get a name, they'll buy it again. Yeah,
but you're saying everybody like it's everybody more than 6 people.
Everybody in their market. Dude, they sold the most beers in that arena since, what was it? They broke a record.
Vegas Golden Knights,
no,
the last new team that opened up. No shit.
No.
It's a circus attraction.
In Utah, whatever that arena is, it's been open for the last 10 years.
Oh, you're talking about that? Okay.
So that's what it was. The last time they sold that many beers in a fucking event, it was like the Utah Jazz against the fucking Chicago Bulls in 1998.
Listen, I mean,
that's a long time ago.
What are we talking about here? Utah has nobody. I mean, I wouldn't even sit here other than Karl Malone. The Utah Jazz mean nothing to me.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it was the finals. The last time that they fucking sold that many.
Right, but that's understandable. It's
30 years ago. That's how big a deal. That's how big of a deal.
I bet you the last time before that they sold that many beers was Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey. You know what I mean?
No, but it's not though. Because they haven't done it since in 20-something years.
What I'm saying is the next best is because what entertainment goes to Utah and plays out of that fucking arena, dude? That's the point.
I get that, but I'm saying is the whole point is to make money, and nobody was going to fucking Phoenix Coyote games.
No, 100% true. But you don't think Utah's going to be any different? You really think?
I think it'd be far better. Listen. As a Spanish man, right? I know that there's a lot of Mexican folk that live out there in Phoenix, Arizona. They don't fucking watch hockey, but the Zach Wilsons of the world will.
No,
the Mormons, you mean?
Yeah, them guys. They will.
Dude, this is a stepping stone.
And I meant Mormons. I didn't mean white people. Zach Wilson's Brazilian, if I remember right.
Dude, this is just a stepping stone. We all know that they're going to outsource that team to somewhere in Canada. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah, it's
just moving up north to north.
Utah forever. That's why the Utah Hockey Club, because they're not going to be there for long. You're not going to give a brand new name, brand the whole thing, and be like, I'm moving to Canada.
I absolutely would, because you'll sell it. You'll sell it twice. Look at the Washington Commanders. They were the Washington Redskins, which they still should be. Then they became the Washington Football Club, which is the stupidest fucking name in the world. Then they switched to the Washington Commanders. And guess what? The people that are fans there bought all 3 jerseys. And I'll tell you what, I'm just as guilty. I really am, because I hated the last version of the Jets jersey, and I am not a fan of the current Jets jersey. I think it's very boring and bland, right? But when I go to a game and I put on a jersey and it's not the current jersey, I feel out of place. I feel like I don't you feel like that fan that isn't a fan today. You were a fan 8 years ago. It's not even a classic look. It's just you bought the jersey that was on sale because they don't sell it anymore. Imagine showing up to a Jets game and you're wearing last year's jersey of a new player. You just look like a fan that got the discount jersey at Modell's.
Nah, I'm on the other side of that. That's some prima donna fan talk, bro. I'll walk into a Rangers game with a fucking Carhartt t-shirt and have you know what I mean?
Not that, but if you're somebody that wears jerseys, imagine And bear with me for a
right?
second.
If that's part of like your wardrobe, like you're a jersey guy, I get it. But dude, I'll tell you right now, I still get more hype for old hockey jerseys than new hockey jerseys.
Yeah, your Gretzky jersey's like real. That was
hold on, but it's
It was the original with the fight strap, the starter jersey. Yeah, absolutely.
But it's Gretzky, guys. It's fucking Gretzky.
No, dude. Okay, hold on. If somebody's rocking a Jeff Bookaboom jersey, immediately nothing but respect for them.
That's a fucking. But again, let's say
Nick, when you rock,
who is the first round pick?
You're Sean Avery.
But again, right? Sean Avery's a guy. Like Sean Avery. I'm saying who's the first round?
Sean Avery. 90% of the league hates Sean Avery, and
he's our guy. He's our fucking guy.
No, half the fucking Ranger fan base hated Sean Avery when he was a fucking Ranger.
No.
Unfortunately, that's the truth.
I meant the three of us. He's our guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's absolute. But what I'm saying is, a lot of old jerseys still hold weight, dude.
No, I'm not saying they don't. And again, Sean Avery's still a veteran player. I'm talking about you get the jersey of the first round pick that didn't pan out. There's some Raiders fan running around right now with a Jamarcus Russell jersey. Or some Jets fan. If you're a Jets fan and you're wearing a Brett Favre jersey, are you a Jets fan?
Probably not.
You get what I'm saying? Like
you should have had a jersey.
You know what's funny? I always buy a jersey of somebody that I respect as a person, or like. So my last Jets jersey was a Darrelle Revis, and I still wear that because nobody on the fucking Jets have proved themselves worth buying a jersey of them.
Worth the damn.
Like I just don't get. Maybe Sauce Gardner. I'll throw it out there because I happen to like Sauce. I like his interactions on Twitter and shit.
I love CJ.
Yeah, but I'm just not going to run out and buy a jersey. Like we got the Adam Fox jerseys. That's because I think Adam Fox probably has the best bet of staying on the Rangers the longest. He's the most solid. He goes out there day after day. There's no lulls in his game, right? Adam Fox should have probably been the captain, but he might not be one of those guys that has a voice in the locker room or the voice that they're looking for. You know what I mean? But it's just I can't go out and buy a new jersey because somebody got like everybody that bought a Juan Soto jersey this year for and obviously you're just buying Yankee jerseys for numbers, but there are people that will go out and buy the Modelo special that says Soto on the back of it. It's like, you know what you're doing then. You know he's a rental.
I've got an Austin Wells jersey.
I think I actually did.
I had it before Austin Wells was on the Yankees.
I bought a Soto only because it's 22 and that's my number. So
that's what I'm saying. Yankees are a little different because you know what? It's just
anybody. A David Justice jersey, a Chad Curtis jersey became a David Justice jersey, became a Melky Cabrera jersey. Unfortunately, became a Aaron Boone jersey for a second. No, it became a Joe Girardi jersey.
Yeah,
which was disgusting. And
I
now it's not
zero. I bought the 0 because the 0 is my number in my fraternity. So I
How do you get a fraternity number?
I'll explain to you guys later.
When you join organizations that make you pay to have friends, they give you a number.
I'll talk about.
Yeah, but 0 is like that's very specific. It's like, oh, during the ritual, nobody entered Rook. That's his number. It's like, wow, good for Rook. He avoided this.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure he left his one school, went to another school, and started the same fraternity. So he's actually number 0 because he brought the fraternity from the other school.
No, that's not why. I'll explain to you guys later. I don't want to get.
We're moving on since we're talking about the Yankees.
Okay,
anyway.
Who's closer? Was it me? Were you not getting penetrated, or Nick?
Nick is closer.
He joined his brother's fraternity. Everybody.
All right, so there it is, folks. Rook was penetrated at least once in college. I need that sound grab, by the way. It has so many applications.
These kids watch this show. What's wrong with you?
I mean, he could have been digitally. It makes it. It doesn't make it better.
Doesn't make it better.
When you say digitally, do you mean like digitally, or do you mean like camera digitally?
He meant fingers.
No. He went to college a while ago. No offense, Rook. You're not an old man, but that's pre-AI. You can't get away with any videos.
This guy.
But obviously, MLB playoffs right now. So much going on. The Mets have advanced to the NLCS, where they'll play either the Dodgers or the Padres. The Yankees currently playing against the Kansas City Royals with Cheese, leading 1-0 in an elimination game for Kansas City. Right now, I believe Aaron Judge is 1 for his last 65 or something like that.
I think he has a season, doesn't he?
And I'm not going to get into an argument with TJ about it. And here's what I mean when I'm like, it has nothing to do with clutch. If it's the first inning, there's nobody on base, and you strike out, that's not you not being clutch. That's you just not being good, period. Clutch would be like it's the 9th inning. The game is on the line. Somebody can do something, and you got to get that hit. He's not good, period. He's not clutch. He's not good at all.
I would actually.
The only reason I'm saying clutch is because we had that conversation.
Wait, my argument is that if you're in the postseason and there's a big opportunity, there's like a runners on first and third, and there's 2 outs, and you can't get a hit, you're not clutch.
That's clutch. But if it's the first inning and there's nobody on base and you still can't get a fucking hit, it has nothing to do with whether or not you're clutch. It has everything to do with you not being good right now. That's it.
I understand, but like no one on the Yankees is clutch
I'd rather he was just good. At this point, just be good. I don't want you to be clutch. Get to being adequate.
But that's what I mean. We're sitting here like happy that Stanton's a Yankee for now. Again, like we're in that lull of like, yay, Stanton did something.
Actually, but people give him shit, but he's actually been really good in the postseason.
I still don't like him.
He's been very good in the postseason. Yankee. I know people give him shit, but he's always shows up in the postseason. So you argue what you want about him, but he hits home runs in the postseason. He's more clutch than Judge. And
he just hit a double.
I'm not saying right. What I'm saying is, though, out of everybody else on the Yankees currently, like he's the one that you talk the most shit about. Like we're paying this guy how much to not play the field and to hit barely. Like Judge is more consistent. When you have Stanton slumping for huge chunks of the year and then get as hot as he gets, you know what I mean? That's the give and take with Stanton. Like when he's on, he's fucking on. He's gonna mow. But those dips in between are brutal.
Do you think that they tag each other in and out? Like, dude, I'll carry us for the season, and I'm gonna bow out for the postseason. You sit out for the season, and you carry us in the postseason.
If you could sink it at the right time and make it work, who cares, right?
It's kind of what's happening right now, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Checked out, man.
And like, I don't mean to shit on Judge because he had a tremendous season. Obviously,
we're probably not in the playoffs without him.
Yeah,
right.
He's
but it's hard to sit here and watch everybody else have their big moments and stuff like that. For other teams, and our big guy has yet to have a moment.
Jazz just showed up the umpire there.
Oh, the umpire was wrong. That was a fucking ball.
It was 100%.
Lo and behold, Jazz struck out. Yeah, I gotta say, obviously, I didn't agree with the comments that Jazz Chisholm made when they lost. I thought it was extremely ignorant, especially from a guy that's never won anything in his life. What would he know about luck? Like, he's never had it in his life up to this point playing for the Marlins. But at the same token, I'm kind of glad he's turned himself into the villain because it takes the heat off of everybody else.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't really expecting big things from Jazz Chisholm. But again, I just think that the comments that he made were stupid. Just ignorant, stupid, like somebody who's not used to success but wants success and doesn't know another way to do it, as Anthony Volpe wraps one into right field and Stanton does not tag up. But I thought the comments from Jazz Chisholm were A, unnecessary, and B, ignorant. Just because why give them a reason to like get rallied up? Why give these fans a reason to cheer when they're losing in an elimination game right now? Because they struck you out when you were up 3-0 in a count and you swung at 2 balls after the umpire fucked you on ball 4. Like, it's not something you needed to do. They didn't need the ammunition. They didn't need it. And you giving it to them didn't help anybody at all. What do they call it? What do they call it? Bulletin board material? Nobody needs that shit.
The thing is with this, though, like the Yankees, like it's just the same thing every postseason. Like they might win the series, but like it's not they're like overly amazing, playing great. I mean, how many walks have they gotten? The game 1 where they had 11 walks. They had 9 yesterday. They had 11 guys left on base. There's just no clutch hitting in this lineup. Judge is not doing anything. Stan's the only guy who's hitting right now, and Torres. And Torres is actually pretty good at bats lately.
Actually, Volpe's not doing bad himself, actually. I think he's got 12 at bats. He's got 4 walks, 2 hits. So he's been on base 500.
Well, the walks are gonna, because so many walks issued by Kansas City.
I get that, but if I'm walking, it's not my fault they can't throw a strike.
No, I get it.
Ask the Mets, because the Phillies could not throw. They got a bunch of throwers in their bullpen. They don't have 0 pitchers. They got a bunch of guys just chucking at the plate.
No, I understand.
Everything gets exacerbated with the fact that they can't hit at all. Like the Mets, you can actually watch them win a game by being exciting and stringing together 7 singles
That's
for
right.
an inning, and that's how you put runs up on the board. The
But
Yankees don't know how to do that.
They won yesterday with like an error, 2 walks, and 1 home run, which is like
Okay, that's one example. What I'm saying is the entire length of the postseason, the Mets have come back multiple times. The Mets have strung hits together and caused a rally to happen to come back late in the game. Because why? Because sometimes 6 singles in a row is enough. You don't need to swing for the fences every time. Watching fucking Judge do nothing but also swing out of his shoes every pitch, it's like, yeah, that's not how you get out of a slump, buddy.
So here's my thing, and I was saying, I said I was going to save this, right? And people are going to sit there and say, you don't do that. And I'm telling you, the way things are right now with him, yes, you do. Countless times we've seen Glaber and Soto get on base with Judge batting. How about you lay one fucking down, guy? How about you lay one down? And there's going to be some jackass out there that goes, he's the 3-hitter. You can't have the 3-hitter bunt. Better 3 hitters than Aaron Judge have laid one down. Better postseason 3 hitters than Aaron Judge have laid one down. The guy's batting it was 0.91 before his last at bat. It is now lower. He's batting sub like 85, 0.85. Lay one fucking down. It's better than you striking out and the runner's not advancing. Like just now, if he bunts, Soto's on second instead of hitting into a double play.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
You know, like think outside the box for 5 seconds. You're struggling very, very badly to the point where it's like you're an automatic out. We don't even think about you other than how great of a disappointment you are in the postseason. Okay. Mm-hmm. Lay one fucking down. Show me you're a team player. There's a runner on first and second. You know you ain't getting a fucking hit to save your life. Square one up, lay it down, move the guys over, have a productive at bat. That's what that is. A sacrifice bunt is a productive at bat. It moves runners over. It keeps people out of double plays, which the Yankees are notorious for doing.
You're forgetting the one argument these new age fans, these stat-loving losers would also tell you. You want him possibly getting hurt, legging out a bunt to first base. It's like, you mean playing the game? Like, I hate everybody using an example like, you want that player to do that? What if he gets hurt? Yeah, no, I want him to be a full player. I want him to play the game. I want him to bunt. I want him to hit. I want him to throw. I want him to steal, slide. I want you to do it. I don't want to hear like, oh, you're really going to risk injury with that? It's like, you mean playing the game and doing his job?
Listen, the reason everybody's into this stat nerd stuff is the reason that you saw it when this inning started, presented by DraftKings. That's why everybody likes the stat nerd bullshit. Yeah, because it'll help you better with your with your addiction of gambling. And you guys should be thankful. You guys gamble on sports. You should
my
be
favorite part,
baseball. I only do football. That's it.
Listen, I gamble here and there. I dabble, but I always enjoy stumbling on somebody on TikTok. Like, guys, listen. I'm 100% this year. I got the winning math algorithm for the year. This stat works every time you throw it in your Excel sheet, blah, 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 blah. And I sit there and I'm like, that guy is 100% broke.
Yeah.
100%.
100% that guy is.
Like literally no one, if you had the algorithm and you knew what you were doing and this, that, and the other thing, you'd keep that shit to yourself. Yeah. Like fucking Biff Tannen in Back to the Future 2 with the sports almanac. You're not telling nobody, okay?
That's true.
So another aspect of this series so far with the Kansas City Royals is how bad Bob Costas has been.
Oh my God!
So cartoonish. I want to read you something. You tell me if this is something Bob Costas has said so far. A cold autumn breeze flowing through Kansas City tonight, sweeping away the long hot days of summer. Just like Don Henley once sang about, the boys of summer are long gone, but the heroes of October are here to stay. As the great Mark Twain once said, the secret to getting ahead is getting started. The Yankees are currently ahead of the Royals 2-1, looking to put the final nail in the sarcophagus of the Royals and send them into the long good night by winning Game 4 here at Call on the Mound. Coal, a name derives from the English word of coal or black charcoal. Yankees fans hoping he has a black heart tonight and punishes his Royals lineup. You think that Bob Costas said that?
I absolutely do think that was Bob Costas, only because I can't imagine you writing something so eloquently.
I have to take a shower. That was the douchiest thing I've ever heard. You want to talk about eloquent? Go back to fucking let Rook read his best man speech. That shit was eloquent. No, what this fucking douche rocket just said was like
praise from Caesar.
Bro, literally, Bob Costas is now fucking Chat GBT. where like they kind of use a lot of weird adjectives that don't
Yeah.
make sense, but we're just gonna throw it in there.
Well, I wrote that, not Bob Costas, because that is 100% what Bob Costas sounds like.
You wrote that?
I really did. Yeah. I swear to
Did
God.
you really? You sat there and wrote that? Nice.
He's definitely chat GPT'd that shit.
I wrote it. I wrote up this morning. I was bored in court, and I sent it to my friends. Bob Costas.
Some poor fuck just got life and fucking Rook's right now. Chat PT speeches.
So wait, the best part is at the end I put Ron Darling and 3 pitches were thrown to Torres. Like that's like exactly like what happens. He does that long soliloquy of just talking, and like 3 pitches go by, and there's just no talking about the game. And then Ron Darling's like, "Nice sweeper."
Furthermore on this, TBS angles are fucking awful. They keep cutting away to show bullshit nobody cares about. Somebody made a joke that George Brett's gotten more screen time than Taylor Swift.
They do talk about Bob Costas loves George Brett. It's
and listen, George Brett, give him his flowers. He's a Hall of Famer.
I get it.
And respect to George Brett. His pine tar was too high, and he should have been called out. But beyond that, when you're sitting there going line drive to center field, base hit, and it lands in the shortstop's glove, slightly behind second base, and then Ron Darling has to be like, "It's an out, dude." Like,
yeah.
I mean, when Judge check swings, and he goes check swing, does he hold up? No, ball 4. Really, dude? Does he hold up means did he swing or not? You said he did not hold up, meaning he did swing, and then you said ball 4. Those two ideas they don't match. You're like John Sterling, but without a good voice.
He has Bob Costas is one of those big game voices, but I think he's just old and he just doesn't.
And can somebody explain to me why is TBS lowering the crowd volume?
Yeah, I don't get that. Yankee Stadium
They're
was like
fucking muted.
Yeah, Yankee Stadium was like apparently everyone was saying how loud Yankee Stadium was, but like you wouldn't know on the game.
Everybody knows that at Yankee Stadium, fans are not the brightest, right? If you're a baseball watcher, I won't call you a fan if you don't know this, but if you watch baseball at a stadium and you are unsure of whether or not that ball is leaving the ballpark, look at the outfielder. If the outfielder starts running toward the wall really fast, it's got a shot. If he stands still, it ain't going anywhere, all right? So you don't have to go, oh! Every time the ball goes in the air.
I've seen players just go like this.
Yeah, I see that.
And watch it just sail over their head. Like, those guys, like, I've seen it multiple times, especially at Yankee games where somebody's playing like 30 feet off the wall and right, and they don't even move. That is like,
I'll tell you right now, if you're an
7 rows up.
If you're an outfielder and you do that to your pitcher, you're a dickhead. I never once in my life did that to one of my pitchers when I played center field. Never once. You always give it a look. You take 4 or 5 steps like you're going to get it. Give the guy some hope and some fucking give him something. Don't just sit there and be like, you suck, bro. I'm not even going to waste my time looking at that ball.
But there's like 2 differences of it. Like there's like TJ said, there's a bomb. The guy just stands there, doesn't even move. But then there's also like the reverse of that was like the guy's running after the ball. He jumps over the fence, puts the glove out, and it's nowhere near.
Yeah,
that's okay. That's what you did your best. You're trying to listen. You made your guy feel a little bit better. Like he didn't just get fucking one tanked into the next zip code. Off
you get nuked into the 400
That's it. That's it. That's why we call you Nuke, because they keep fucking hitting bombs off you guys. Nuke Loosh, LA Loosh.
Oh my god.
Well, let's talk about the Mets for real quick.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, let's talk about the Mets. Let's talk about our friend Chris McCormick and how he hates Rook.
So they were dead in May. I mean, the Mets were dead in May, and they had the best record since I think early June, and they have turned things around. I mean, they were obviously playing better baseball than the Phillies in the last few months. So I think that series, if you thought the Phillies were coming out of that like alive, I did not believe the Phillies had enough to beat the Mets. The Mets are just very clutch, as me and TJ were saying before. They string hits together. If you walk a couple of the guys, they're going to make you pay.
They never get down, bro. They never get, even if they're losing going into the 8th, it means nothing to them.
I mean, and the pitching's been really good. They've been very solid starting pitching.
Oh, yeah.
But our friend Chris hates me because I'm telling him how good the Mets are, and he thinks I'm trying to jinx them. So I'm like, dude, like the Mets could legitimately go to the World Series. He's like, don't you jinx it. They're not even out of the
Chris, I want you to know, Chris, Rook is genuine. He's not trying to jinx the Mets, but I absolutely am trying to jinx the Mets, and I think they'll make it to the World Series.
No, I really think that
they are locked to win the World Series, not only this year, but the next 6 or 7 seasons.
They're gonna be like a Yankee dynasty now.
I mean, I'm just saying, the longer that both the Yankees and the Mets are in this, the better chance I have of making some nice overtime cleaning up the ticker tape day parade.
That's true. And the thing is, too, like there's some Met fans who you just cheer for. You're like, good for that guy. That guy's been sticking it out. He knows he's a lovable loser. And you're just like, good for that guy.
You're 100% right. And Chris McCormick is definitely in that category. I have some family in that category. I got way more friends that are in the category of the Mets just got smoked after these motherfuckers were talking shit all day. I can't wait to get on this son of a bitch.
That's true.
That's my family.
You were Giant fans. Like, like the way you said you hate certain Giant fans. You're like, I'm going to shit on those guys once they lose 3 in a row. But yeah, no, I mean, good for the Mets. Listen, it's a turnaround. We did not expect that. We were talking about them early on. Are you celebrating or you got bit by a bug?
I'm celebrating.
I turned it off, so you just say it.
No, I'm not watching the Yankee game. I mean, I am watching the Yankee game, but I'm not. I got a message from work.
Oh. I was like, all right. Well, I guess we can move on.
No, I'm not done. We're talking about the Mets, man. No, a couple things about the Mets. One, congratulations to the Mets. They made it to the NLCS. Yeah. They'll probably lose to a West Coast team. Wow. 2, Francisco Lindor. Round of applause for that fucking guy.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to tell you right now a couple things. One, I hate his goatee. Don't ask me why I hate his goatee. He should just cut it right here and just have like the little goatee with the small mustache. This whole like, I don't know what it is, but I don't like it. All right. It's bothering me. It's like Steve Harvey when he had a goatee. I'm not a fan. 3, I hate his stupid Revo glove. It's awful. Plastic gloves should be out of the world. 4, he hits a fucking monster home run the other day, arguably the most important home run of his career. Does he dance? Does he flip his bat? Does he fucking act like he's never hit a home run before? No. You know what he does? The exact opposite of what Carlos Rodon did, right? And he fucking trots around the bases like it's the first inning still. And I'm going to tell you this right now. What did Carlos Rodon do? And the only reason I call him Rodon is because he's from South Carolina, and that's what he calls himself for some fucking reason.
It's on.
His name is clearly Rodon. But anyway, Carlos Rodon fucking celebrates in the first inning, doesn't even make it past 4. Meanwhile, Francisco Lindor hits a game-winning home run, but he knows it's only the 8th inning, and there's still plenty of baseball to lose. And what does he do? He puts his head down, he trots around the bases, because you know what? That's what studs do. When studs do studly-ass shit, they don't jump around and do backflips because that's business. It's normal. When you have fatherless behavior and nobody gave you attention as a child, when you're an adult and you hit a home run, you have to do the, look at me, everybody look at me, because nobody ever looked at you until right fucking now. So you're an attention whore because nobody loved you as a child. When you're a fucking stud your whole life, it's just fucking Wednesday.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
People are like, why didn't you? They asked him too, like, why did you celebrate? He goes, because there's 27 outs we have to get. We didn't get them yet.
They could have. How does that look? Rodon is a fucking laughing stock right now. Oh, yeah, he's fucking all pumped up. I struck out 3 guys. Loses the fucking game. Doesn't even make it into the 5th fucking inning.
He didn't make it through 4.
He didn't even make it through 4. Like, come on, dude. Like,
I also think it's also the player's character, not like the mentality, but their character as far as their work ethic, right? Like, how many times do you see people like Nick? You're in a situation where at work you have people working for you. How many guys do you have that come through all the time, go above and beyond, and when you stop to acknowledge them and thank them, they're like, "Yeah, okay, no problem. Of course, it's my job.
Doing my job."
Right? Like they have no idea that. So in those situations, somebody like Lindor is thinking that's exactly what I'm supposed to fucking do.
That's why they paid me the big checks.
Like. I'm just happy that I'm not the target right now like he was the first year in the Mets organization, which rightly so. He deserved to be a target because he got the biggest check in New York at the time and he wasn't earning it. You can't hate on accurate criticism.
But really, really good for Francisco Lindor. Very proud of everything that he has brought to this point in the baseball season. And good for the Mets making it to the NLCS. It only took them having MLB increase the wild card by 300% for them to do it. But the only thing that bothered me about Francisco Lindor was he goes, I want to get to the point where I come back here in 10 years and I don't have to pay for a meal. And I'm like, you play for the Mets, dude. That was never going to fucking happen. Like, even the 86 Mets, like, their drug dealer might give them a free 8-ball here and there, but they ain't getting any free meals in New York. I'm not buying Darryl Strawberry, Doc Gooden, nor Keith Hernandez a fucking beer. Two of them are on the wagon, so neither one of those motherfuckers should be drinking.
I will buy Darryl Strawberry a fucking cheeseburger deluxe or 2 burrito bowls at Chipotle. Tell him he can throw some guac on that bitch, whatever extra, throw the chips in there, whatever that man needs. He came out of nowhere for that fucking punch to who's that? Benitez, right?
Yes.
Bro, notice you're not buying him stuff for the 86 series. You're buying him a meal because he punched fucking Armando Benitez in the face. Former Met Armando Benitez.
Because he fucked with who?
Paul O'Neill. No, Tino Martinez.
There you go. And you don't fuck with Tino. Nobody fucks with Tino.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? What was it for? Because Bernie hit a home run.
Yep. And then, they slow down that punch. There's so many videos of it, but I forget. It was one of the documentaries. They were like, Darryl went nuts. Nobody saw him. That motherfucker ran around everybody.
Well, if I remember right, isn't Darryl from like Long Beach or Compton or something like that?
Yeah.
Darryl's not from a good neighborhood in fucking California.
Dude,
Darryl's
he like
from a bad neighborhood.
No, dude, he was standing on business right there, right? Yeah, like you have all the players that will sit there and allow a catcher to catch up to them before they make it out to the mound and be like, hold me back, or wait to get in somebody's face when the scruffle's going on and the scrum's happening, but really it's just everybody's grabbing each other, right? Darryl Strawberry's like, everybody's focusing on the left side. I'm gonna come from the right, and I'm gonna clock this son of a bitch in the right side of his face. He's not gonna see it coming. Dude. The best part about that is the video of it is you literally see Benitez's head and then Strawberry's fist comes from out of frame. He hits him and then the rest of his body follows through into the dugout just from sheer momentum. Nobody saw it coming.
So Darryl Strawberry's from Crenshaw, by the way. Which again,
so Spencer James.
Spencer fucking All-American. No, he's talking about All-American. No, I digress. The playoffs are hot right now. It is kind of peculiar that the teams that won their divisions are losing. Maybe it's because they had a fucking week off.
The Yankees. Yankees are.
We can't move away from baseball without acknowledging, like, do you think we can just get the Dodgers and Padres fans to kill each other and baseball would be a better place? I'm
telling you right now. I will say this. All right, listen. One, I do not believe in pitchers throwing at batters. Fucking ever. I don't think that it's okay. And I the other day I saw a video of a
pitcher. True. You agreed with the fucking CC Sabathia situation. Sometimes people deserve to wear one.
But in that instance, CC was also ready to fight.
100%.
Yeah, he was.
99% of pitchers are not ready to fight, and they will never fight. And that's why they throw baseballs at people, because they're pussies. And that's my problem.
There's more videos of pitchers running into the outfield than there are running down to the plate to fight.
Absolutely. There's more Hunter Stricklands in the world than there are CC Sabathias. All right. And my problem with the whole situation is I saw a video the other day, and I think it was Mexican League, where a pitcher intentionally hits a batter square in his numbers. The batter chases him down with a bat, and they're like, what a pussy, he's carrying a bat. Oh, but the pitcher's a big man for throwing at him. If you have a problem with anybody in a sporting event, I am okay with hockey rules. Don't throw a ball at him and be like, oh, it was an accident. Be a fucking man. Say, I don't like you. I'll see you in the fucking parking lot, Blue. And that's what happened with fucking with the fucking loser from the Mets and the shortstop and the shortstop from the Willie Adames.
Right. Oh, right. From the yeah.
I don't remember the loser from the Mets names, but he's a fucking herb. What's his name? Something.
Yeah. So I'm with you 100% on the. I don't agree with drilling somebody because you have a score to settle with them because last year they took you deep. I don't agree with drilling somebody because the last guy hit a home run, so I'm going to fucking hit you. None of that, because all you're going to do is get somebody hurt because you're going to hit some stupid asshole like me who obviously wants to stay in the game, so I'm not going to take it out on you. I'm going to destroy the fucking shortstop because I'm going to take second base and I'm going to slow down a little bit so I have the opportunity to absolutely fuck him up when I come in hot.
Step on the first baseman's fucking Achilles tendon.
I don't want to actually hurt somebody, but I want to blow somebody up and be like, oh, sorry.
Another good one.
The fucking
I'm advocating for batters throwing bats at pitchers. I'll take a check swing, let go of the bat by accident, hit you square in the fucking face.
Manny Machado's tried that. It looks stupid.
And Padres are going to fight with fans instead of the Dodgers.
Speaking listen, fans are going to be fans. I don't believe in, and TJ, you and I have gone to games together where fans get out of line, and we don't agree with crossing that line, right?
You should never be chucking shit on the field.
You should never be chucking shit on the field. Especially, it's one thing for you to chuck like a candy wrapper on the field or a piece of paper. It's entirely different when you throw a fucking baseball that could kill somebody onto the field. And everybody's going to go, oh, it's not 100 miles an hour. I promise you, get hit in the head in the wrong spot by anything hard, and you can die. Yeah. It has happened.
What do you call it? That Jerickson Profar was in L.A. He handed the guy a ball, like literally gave the guy a ball. The guy took it and threw it at him. Like, what the fuck?
No. That guy didn't. So they interviewed that guy, and he said, me and Profar were going back and forth the whole time. He was walking to me with the ball, and I was screaming at him, I'm going to throw it back on the field. If you give it to me, I'm going to throw it back on the field. He smiled and threw it to me, and then he didn't throw it near Profar. He threw it past Profar.
He threw it. It was the guy in the second deck with no shirt on that threw it.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. And I'm going.
So they threw the guy out that threw the ball, knowing that he was screaming at Profar, like, I'm throwing it back on the field. I don't want that ball. Like, and everybody was in on it there. But that started chaos for everywhere else, and then that guy kind of took the rap for it because you can't throw anything back on the field. You're getting thrown out again.
And here's the deal: those guys. There's a video of some guy with no shirt on throwing a ball at Profar. That guy should be banned from baseball stadiums for life. And
every single stadium, yes.
I said that on Twitter, and somebody goes, "Oh, that's harsh. Just ban him for the rest of the playoffs." You know, most people aren't going to multiple playoff games, right? It's very expensive to go. And if you're sitting in the upper deck with no shirt on, drunk, throwing things on the field, I don't think you have tickets to more than just that game. All right. Furthermore,
I'll tell you this much: I would ban him from the game of baseball altogether. Like when his kid goes to play Little League, because Little League is a massive system. Like it's very fancy now with not just like, oh yeah, no, I'm from this district. Like you have to fucking provide paperwork to the stat. Like when my son was playing Little League, like to the system so they can accurately verify that you're supposed to be where you're supposed to be and all that shit, dude. So they have the ability to be like, yeah, that kid can play. His father's not allowed at any Little League field.
Absolutely. And the deal is, and somebody goes, oh, that's really harsh. Why don't you just ban him for the rest of the playoffs? I'm like, why? So that the guy that's only going to the game tomorrow can throw something on the field? I was like, if you ban him for life, the next dumbass. The reason Pete Rose is banned for life is because when Shoeless Joe and his 7 buddies did it, they wanted to discourage anybody else from even thinking that it might kind of almost thought about it being okay. So they were like, we're banning these guys who at the time were the best baseball players in the world for life till they died as a lesson to everybody else. And Pete Rose apparently didn't read the book. He didn't get the fucking memo on that lesson. So he broke the rules and he got the same punishment. So anybody else that plays Major League Baseball that thinks about doing these things, Ohtani, you're getting banned for life unless you have an interpreter that could take the rap for you.
I wonder if you ever see that article, the guy who went to jail for life, he died, had a heart attack. They brought him back and he asked to be released because he said technically he served his life sentence.
Yeah.
That would Pete Rose. That would have been awesome. That would have been some good television.
If he died, they brought him back on the table and he was like, technically I died.
So this is my second life now.
But
Zombie Pete.
That guy that threw that ball onto the field and there's video of him doing it, he should be banned for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Why do you want to give him a second opportunity to do it again?
Even if it was a joke between you and Profar, it's still you shouldn't fucking throw a ball.
Well, not that guy. The guy on the second deck, shirtless, drunk, throwing fucking shit onto the field. Like
that guy shouldn't have done it either, though.
Because Profar can easily stand up and go, "Listen, I was going back and forth with the guy. He did tell me don't give me the ball. I'll vouch for that guy." But the guy on the second deck trying to hurt Profar, he ain't fucking doing nothing but being a drunk asshole.
Yeah,
no, 100%, 100%.
You know, that's like letting the guys that murdered that Giants fan fucking walk.
Yeah.
What's that?
Are you Is Nick frozen on your screen, Rook?
Yeah, he's probably.
Okay.
You didn't look like Fozzie. They look like something else.
Yeah, no, I agree. What always pisses me off is like it's all in good fun. I've been to games in, let's say, I've been to Yankees Baltimore games in Baltimore. They're always a good time. People like to ball bust. with a smile on their face. It's fun. It's a fun time. But there's situations that are just like ridiculous. Like I understand why my friends that are Giant fans would never go to Philly to see a game, because you're just asking to get into a fight because you're a fan of a team. And people will be like, "Oh, that's the way it is." Like, nah, that doesn't make it right, though. I like watching that dude on that has TikTok and YouTube that purposely goes to different hometown teams, like wearing the opposing team's jersey just to troll fans. But it always ends up pissing me off because there always seems to be some kind of weird situation where somebody will like throw a beer at him, or somebody will walk up and dump something on him. And what pisses me off is the reason why I agree with Nick so wholeheartedly is consequences mean everything. If that dude is banned for life from the game, it sets the tone. It sets the precedence that you're not going to get away with shit like that. So I say it all the time. Like, the dude's doing the thing. I forget where he was. I think he was in Boston. I forget what jersey he was wearing, but these Red Sox fans are walking past like, "Oh, you better get the fuck out of here with that." And somebody walks up and pours a beer on him. What happens if that guy pulls out a knife and stabs that dude to death? Consequences, right? Was it worth it? Because living in New York City, I've seen and heard and literally physically been in places where shit's gone down, and essentially it's, well, you shouldn't have fucked with that guy. Clearly.
Like, you know what?
At work, some dude threatened everybody with a gun like that didn't work there. He just walked into the garage and was like, "I'll fucking kill everybody." And next thing you know, we have cops everywhere, and this guy's getting stomped out.
I just realized we're running out of time. This Yankee game really distracted me. Real quick before we go, fucking Jets
run long. Who cares?
The Jets fire Robert Saleh this week and put Jeff Ulbrich as the interim head coach. A lot of play caller. And yes, Hackett is no longer play calling, and then Coach Downing is now the play caller for the New York Jets, and we'll see how that works out. A lot of things that went on this week about that move, and out of it, a lot of it is just LOL Jets, right? Because the media has nothing better to do with their lives, so they just LOL Jets all day long. If any other franchise did it based on what's been going on and how it's been going on, it would be like, oh, well, it's about time, or that's a good move. They got a whole future ahead of them. They shouldn't be fucking sacrificing it on this guy. But the Jets do it, and all of the media goes, "Oh, how fucking dare you? You guys are so inept. I can't believe you fired a coach in the middle of the season," as if nobody's ever done that before. Happens all the fucking time in the NFL.
I think he's gone to another double play because they can't, God forbid, you have nice things.
And but Judge got on base. There's a fucking
he walked, and then fucking Austin Wilson trying to do double play again. This happens every time someone gets on base.
Yep. And so trouble? No. So the other craziness, Aaron Rodgers got him fired. And I don't know if you guys caught this, but like multiple players came out and they were like, Aaron's pretty upset about the whole thing.
Yeah,
and then it becomes Aaron Rodgers got him fired because he was gonna take away play calling from Nathaniel Hackett.
Yeah.
And then what does Jeff Ulbrich do? Takes play calling away from Nathaniel Hackett. So clearly that fucking rumor is out the window because it happened anyway. So that shit is a lie. The other lie was that they fired him because he had a Lebanon flag on his fucking jacket on Sunday.
Yeah, that was another one too. That was ridiculous because he's had it all.
We've been seeing him do this for at least 2 seasons, if not 3.
Yeah, he's always had it on.
Oh, well, Israel never Lebanon didn't bomb Israel before. Listen, I promise you, Woody Johnson don't give a fuck about Israel. I will say this. 3 things are true about what happened that I think are actual factual, right? The first thing is he did not live up to expectations and did not result in enough positive change to maintain his job. Believe it or not, his record is worse than Adam Gase's.
Yeah.
Overall, a worse winning percentage than Adam Gase.
What was his record? I'm looking up. While you keep going, I'm gonna look it up.
2. I do think that when the players talk about accountability and there being a lack of accountability on the team, that is a direct shot at the head coach and his staff. And you could sit there and say, well, what about the other coaches? And that's true, but who's responsible for those? When my junior soldiers do stupid shit, my boss doesn't fire them. He comes up to me and I get fired. Like, that's how simple that shit goes. If your subordinates are not doing the job, they will find somebody else to lead them. I promise you. Happens all the time. All right. the last one, so multiple players came out and said that he's not, the coaches aren't holding players accountable. And we saw it through undisciplined play, multiple penalties. We're arguably the most penalized team in the NFL over the course of the last 3 seasons. And it's not getting better. We saw plenty of false starts on Sunday, as well as holdings, offsides. The fuck is that? And at this point, you can't blame it on the NFL anymore. A false start's a false start is a false start. It's not like the first game of the season with the illegal procedures that they were calling every 3 seconds. Yeah. That's not what we were seeing. We were seeing legitimate calls for false start.
Yeah.
And lastly, I do think that losing in London, where Woody was once an ambassador who has friends of influence at the game, and I've said this many times over the last course of the last 2 years, owners that own sports teams now, that is their new yacht. That is their new Lamborghini. That's their new, for when you at some point in your existence, if you become that rich, you're surrounded by other rich people. And the only things that they can't buy at this point in the world is slaves. Thank God. The closest you can get is buying a professional sports team. You own people and they dance for you, or they run for you, or they jump for you, or they catch, or they hit a fucking slap shot for you. Because I can't imagine that fucking Dolan loves hockey, and that's why he owns the Rangers.
No, it's a moneymaker every year.
It is a moneymaker, but on top of that, he doesn't need it because he owns MSG. So he doesn't need to own the Rangers on top of owning
the building.
On top of owning MSG is my point. The same thing with Steinbrenner. When George Steinbrenner bought the Yankees, he was a part of a group that bought the Yankees. He was a fucking shipping mogul. He didn't need to own a professional baseball team.
Yeah.
But that was just the next yacht that he could buy and say, well, I own a fucking baseball team. See that Reggie Jackson? He works for me. Like, okay, cool. You got yourself a big stud. Good for you, man. And that's Woody Johnson. Woody Johnson sent his freaking circus to England to show his English buddies what they could do, and they embarrassed him, so somebody had to go.
I would just to correct you. You said Adam Gase was better than Robert Saleh?
Had a better winning percentage.
No, that's incorrect. Adam Gase was 9-23 with a winning percentage of 281. Robert Saleh was 20-36 with a winning percentage of 357. Todd Bowles was better. Todd Bowles was 23-40 with a 364 win percentage. 365 win percentage.
Well, I would say that putting yourself slightly better than fucking Adam Gase with a Hall of Fame quarterback and much more. I'm telling you right now, I don't think the offensive line is played up to par. I don't think the offensive line is paid up to par, but I think that's because of coaching. If they fired Nathaniel Hackett and fucking Carter today, I wouldn't lose any sleep over it. And again, I don't dislike Robert Saleh. It's just that somebody's got to do something. And I think the writing was on the wall about Jeff Ulbrich leaving in the offseason to be a head coach someplace else.
You can't. I think the biggest thing is optics mean a lot, especially today. Optics mean a lot. Political optics, fucking the woke shit, the factor, whatever. Optics mean a lot to a lot of companies and a lot of things. And when every time the Jets have some kind of play that either doesn't go their way or it's a misstep, you look to the sidelines and Robert Saleh is just like shaking his head and his head's down and you're the coach, do something, you fucking idiot. What are you shaking your head at? What are you looking in a mirror? Do something about it. The guy was always shaking his head. I would rather be one of the coaches, and his assistant coach trying to hold him back as he's screaming at somebody, for fucking taking another stupid penalty. Be the dude. Don't go out there and give the like you guys were saying, the Aaron Boone answers. Oh, it's right there. Ream somebody out. You could do it without showing the person up at a press conference. When there's a clear issue, you're allowed to hold people accountable without it being oh, there was no reason to run him down there. It's no, that's not running somebody down. That's calling it like it is. That's being in charge of a team that's not functioning correctly.
I agree with you on that one. And one of the things that you talk about, I'll give an example. When somebody fucks up and you chew them out on the sidelines and they ask you about it in the post-game conference interview, it's none of your fucking business. I corrected the issue right there on the spot. I did it my way, and I don't got to tell you what I said to him.
I know you get fined, but could you imagine oh, hey, Robert, you had a interaction over there with Aaron Rodgers and it seemed to get heated. Could you tell us about it? It's no, that's my job. Do I come to your house and slap the dicks out of your mouth?
But I agree with you,
Just
TJ.
once.
Every so often, you want to see the head coach rip his fucking his headset off, throw it on the floor, and go, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah.
Matter of fact, in our intro, you see me throw a football, and I just go, "What the fuck?"
Dude, go break something. Go break one of those little touch pads. And then
You
walk
know
up to the player and be like, "You're fucking paying for that because you suck."
From Jeff Goldberg,
You know who does do that, though?
Rex Ryan.
No, Brian Dable.
Who's that?
Yeah, I was. Are you going to tell us who that is?
You guys suck.
No, you're
probably winning. The last two games they won, they've been. I mean, they only lost to Dallas in between those two games, but the games they won, even the game in Dallas, he was getting more fired up than he has been the last couple games,
and that's a good thing. Show some life.
Yeah, he shows life. He yelled at him, I think it was a mistake on Sunday with Seattle, and he lost his shit on them.
In other Jets news, Hassan Reddick's agency is parting ways with him. So apparently this entire holdout has been his fault, his idea, and his agency is like, we're not fucking tolerating you being not going to work because you owe us money probably.
Yeah.
You've just cost us a shit ton of money, and there's press coming out saying that we're telling you to do this. So they're probably losing more clients on top of it.
Well, he's making them work hard, and if he doesn't sign a contract, they don't get paid.
Right.
So fuck you.
So Hassan Reddick is now agentless. I hope he doesn't play ever again.
I'm the same way, dude. I'm sorry. I don't care about being spiteful. You fucking signed a deal. Now all of a sudden you want to. And I hate the fans that make the excuses like everybody else gets away with it. So why should he be different? It's like, fuck everybody else and fuck him.
Everybody else doesn't get away. Oh, well, owners break contracts all the time. Owners never in the history of the NFL has an owner ever broken a contract ever. Oh, what are you talking about? They sign contracts and then they cut them. They don't get paid because that's what it says they can do in the contract. You're the idiot that said that you were going to sign that would be like signing a prenup, getting divorced, and then being mad about your wife taking the money that she agreed to in the prenup.
Right.
Like you signed it, you idiot. Like, sorry, I don't know what to tell you. You signed a contract that only had $500,000 guaranteed, and the other $40 million was fucking incentive based that you failed to meet. So they cut you, and they only had to pay you $500,000. That is not them breaking their contract. That is you being too stupid to sign a better contract. You know who signed an amazing contract? Deshaun Watson, because he fucking sucks, and all his money's guaranteed. He's getting like $250 million to suck dick.
Yeah. Literally though.
No, actually, he's in trouble for other. Never mind.
Yeah.
I apologize. Jameis Winston should be playing over there anyway. I still love Jameis. I don't care what anybody says.
Jameis is the man. I love his talks, his little pregame huddles and stuff. He's the man.
The Hassan Reddick's costing people money. Except for the Jets. He's costing everybody money but the Jets. And by the way, I just want to say and people go, oh, but he's on your team. He is not on my team. I have worn a Jets jersey more times this year than he has. I am more on the New York Jets than he is at this point. And the owner came out and said, just come into the fucking building so we can meet. We'll talk. You'll love it here. Promise.
Yeah, I was going to say, but the move needed to be made. I thought the Jets needed to do this. It's good that Woody did fire him, but I just think it's one of those things the Jets like just slightly off time. Like this should have been done in the offseason. You should have even given him 5 games. And then now instead of looking for a head coach in the offseason, now you got I'm not anything wrong with Jeff Ulbrich, but now you have an interim coach. Now what are you going to do at the end of the year? Like depends on how he does. So now you have like another situation. It's kind of like
it's a tough situation because last year you lose your starting Hall of Fame quarterback in the first fucking 4 plays of the season. And then you have a bad season and you fire the head coach like it's his fault. Aaron Rodgers broke his like name me a coach right now in the NFL that loses their starting quarterback. Right now, if the Chiefs lose fucking Mahomes, they're not going to fare very well this year. If the Bills lose Allen, they're not faring very well this year. There's many teams that if they lose their starting quarterback, they are not going to do well at all this year, let alone do anything to talk about doing well. All right. So to fire him after last season, where there's so many excuses for why he didn't do well, that's hard. That's really hard.
I get it. But I also think if you look at his record the 2 years before, the year before that, because it was just, this was his 4th season. So the first 2 seasons weren't good. I know he had Zach Wilson, but it's still getting the best of the things that you have is what you want from a coach.
I don't
think
disagree.
I think you make fun of me because I mentioned Brian Dable. Well, Brian Dable does not have a good offense because of Daniel Jones, and they still win football games. And he still got the most out of everyone on the team. The first year he was there, that defense was not that good, and he got the most out of that defense and made the playoffs. Okay? And that's a good head coach, opposed to Robert Saleh. He could not get that. He couldn't do both things. He couldn't get the offense to do anything right. And the thing is, I get that you're saying Hackett is the reason why the offense looks stale when you're running, the same A-gap freaking runs up the middle. You're the head coach. You say to him, hey, dude, do something different. You're stale over here. You got to do something. You have to delegate power as a head coach, and Robert Saleh just could not do that.
You do the Coach Boone. If you don't get it together, I'm going to take over play calling.
Listen,
that too. Even if he did that, it would be fine. Even if he has zero offensive mindset, I'd rather him say that.
But that's bullshit. Because we talked to Coach Westhoff about that. I asked.
No, that's not that wasn't my point. I know what you're going to say. I'm just saying, even if he has zero offensive mindset, I know he doesn't because he's a defensive coach and he looks at offense all the time. But what I'm saying is that even if he has zero offensive mindset, I would prefer him as a head coach to go up to Hackett and be like, I'm taking over play calling because I don't even give a shit about know it. It's going to be better than what the fuck you have.
Yeah. Listen, it obviously Rodgers getting hurt isn't his fault, but like Rook said, you definitely have to get something out of the season. How much is your payroll? You can't sit there and be like, oh, we lost one guy, so we're going to lose. There's no point in trying. Like, the effort was poor. You want to sit there and blame it on Zach Wilson? It's a cop-out. It was horrible play schemes. Like, if you can't figure out a way to let that guy just be a little bit successful in some aspect of fucking throwing a football or handing off a football, or like if you can't come up with anything, then you're not worth paying money to do it. Because anybody could sit there and be like, oh, we're going to run this package right here. Okay, guys, you know how to do that? Cool. Like, anybody could do that. It's figuring out how you're going to be successful against, number one, the opponent that you have that week, and number two, with the fucking talent that you do have on the field. So I understand what you're saying. Aaron Rodgers losing out on him. Obviously, anybody's going to suffer, but they did nothing last year. They literally were a shit show.
And yet still weren't a fucking top 5 team, or bottom 5 team, I should say.
Yankees are set up right now, but they're 2 outs.
Yes, they are.
I get it, dude. But like,
again, I'm not losing any sleep over Robert Saleh being fired. I'm saying
I don't think they respected him.
There were a lot of question marks at the end of last season that say, well, if this doesn't happen, if that doesn't happen, he doesn't get fired. And I think what's his name said that the best. Aaron Rodgers said it yesterday. If I don't throw 3 interceptions, Robert Saleh is still the head coach of the fucking New York Jets today. And by the way, that's what a leader says. That's what a leader says.
That's fair.
And he's probably right. He's probably right. If he doesn't throw 3 interceptions on Sunday, have arguably his worst game in years on Sunday.
But you know what? I honestly, like, everybody could fluff this up. I really do think that there is an issue between Aaron Rodgers and Robert Saleh, that push off of the hug. And the reason why I say that is I think there's a lack of respect there, because if anybody else, any other, Aaron Rodgers is playing for the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick is still a coach, and Bill Belichick comes up to him and goes to give him some kind of accolade, do you think he's pushing Bill Belichick away?
Yeah,
Not
but again,
a fucking chance.
I think what Aaron Rodgers said about that whole hug, fucking push thing was true. Because when you look at his eyes, when they cut the camera away, he's about to smile at him. We don't see it because they cut it away, but look at his eyes. His eyes aren't angry. He's giving him a very serious face.
No,
and then
it was very dismissive. No, it comes off very dismissive.
Why would
to
he
me.
say two score lead? Why would he say that?
It looked like he was saying we're going to score more points.
No, he said 2 score lead because they were up by 2 scores at that point.
Dude, either way,
so
it's not
again,
a good look.
Just like if I want to hug you as the Yankees get an RBI single, scoring Alex Verdugo from third, John Birdie moves over to third from first to third. Gleyber Torres with the RBI single here in the top of the 5th with 2 outs RBI single. Good for Gleyber.
Love it.
And mind you, they want to get rid of Gleyber Torres because
there was legitimate reasons to. Let's not do that.
They listen. The majority, and not you, but the majority of people that hated him, they mostly hate him because English is his second language.
I don't know about that. I think that's
he's been carrying this fucking team since the All-Star break.
That's fine, but dude, half the people in New York City don't speak fucking English. Come on.
You're right, and they fucking hate them too. Most Yankee fans ain't from fucking New York anymore. They live in the fucking burbs.
They live in like Texas and Florida.
They live in fucking Jersey and fucking Yonkers. Not even Yonkers. They live in Orange now. They used to live in Yonkers. Now they live in Orange.
Oh shit.
But I
My favorite
digress.
part about people from Yonkers is they literally be like, yeah, I'm from New York City. It's like, no, you're not.
I mean, people from Jersey do the same shit.
Yeah, but that's a total like that's like literally
People from Nassau and Suffolk do the exact same thing.
just saying.
At least once you get to Newburgh, they start talking like redneck Hicks.
Yeah, but like if I'm driving up, like, and I start seeing signs for like New England this way, you're not in New York City anymore.
Actually, once you have
Besides,
more,
technically, do start in the Bronx, but
if you have more trees than people, you are not in New York City.
correct. If somebody's not taking a shit on the street within a mile radius of you, you're not in New York City.
If the cop that arrests you for drinking in the street while somebody smokes weed next to you does not have an NYPD shield, you're not in New York City.
Wow, this is
I
going to
thought
be a
about
new
that the other
bit.
day. I said, imagine weed being non-criminalized, but I still can't drink a beer.
Pretty much.
Isn't that fucking crazy? So I can get high in the street. That's totally cool. Can't drink a beer.
Yeah, and the funny part is they'll be like, and everybody be like, no, you can't. The law says blah 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 blah. Yeah, but you're missing the part where everything about cannabis is decriminalized. So you can't. But the fact that the law is there doesn't mean anything because the next law is, by the way, weed's decriminalized, which means you can't give fucking summonses for it up to like. And I think the tolerance is like, it used to be like, you got. It was always when we were kids growing up in high school, our pothead friends, if you got caught with a dime or something like that, the cops didn't even fucking really bother you. They threw it out or took it from you or, maybe brought you home or something like that and had your parents pick you up from the station at worst. Now it's like you can be walking around with 2 pounds of fucking bud in Manhattan and people be like, yeah, Tuesday.
As long as it's one big bag.
Yeah, you can't be walking around with separate bags or a scale.
But
shit.
I think that's all we have for the Jets. This Yankee game.
Yeah, let's go watch the Yankees. We ran long already. I think we nailed everything we had to nail.
We did. We had a great show. Lot to talk about. We ran a little bit long.
Shit, I thought we were going to get out of here without giving him a final word. Fuck.
No. Real quick. We've got mentioned basketball. The New York Knicks made a huge move. They traded Julius Randle. Did we talk about this last week?
I talked about this last week.
We talked about it last week.
You weren't here, guy.
You weren't here, bro. You lose. You're out.
You missed it.
That's
You
all.
can't keep talking about
See
it
you
now.
next week.
We'll see you guys next week. Love, peace, and
Whiskey of the week.
fucking this guy with his whiskeys of the week as Juan Soto fucking flies out to center field. Guy
So
missed
much
last
taste.
week, so now he's like really fucking thirsty.
I know. It's bullshit. I want to watch baseball.
All
right.
We'll take 2 seconds. 2
I'm
seconds.
teasing. I'm teasing.
All right.
I hear you.
Whiskey of the week.
No, I honestly thought the cat trade happened this weekend. That's why.
No, that was last week, pal, and I'm the one that talked about it.
I'll rip
No,
this
you're-
off to the top real quick. In honor of all the Angels Envy we drank at Nick's wedding, little Angels Envy. This is the 110 proof wine outlet private stock. This is their private barrel. $100 for this bottle, which honestly, the extra proof. I like Angels Envy and I like the more proofy. I like this version. I like the full the barrel proof that we tried at the distillery because the normal 80 proof Angels Envy is very sweet. It's great to introduce somebody to bourbon, but it is on the sweeter side, and I like to drink stuff neat. And the fact that I'm drinking straight fire water with no ice in it, and I'm telling you that it's sweet, should say something. So this is the right blend, I would say, of sweetness plus proofiness. I think it like kind of complements each other a little better. Always love the proofy stuff, but this definitely with the sweetness helps balance it out. But the nose is incredible. The nose, you get that Angel's Envy, that smell right away. It's I think, what is it? Port wine barrels, right? Yeah, port wine barrel cask. You
Very
can smell it. It has that, it has that signature smell. You know exactly what it is.
You know you're having Angels Envy.
You take a sip, that flavor is, honestly, I like Angel's Envy. It doesn't get a lot of love in the bourbon community as far as like being an allocated bottle or something that you reach for, but it's something that I will always go to and go back to and always enjoy. So I like, how do you beat that? And for the price, the regular 80 proof bottle of Angel's Envy is what, $42?
Yeah, and I think what was it? We went to the tour. They've only been there for what, like 20 years or something like that. They're around or
1990. No,
30
less. I feel like 2012 or something like that.
It's a relatively right.
But I think he said,
but they have the history of they brought the one of the guys was
made Woodford.
Yes.
That was 1994. The father made Woodford in 94.
Okay,
but they didn't make Eagles Envy until like 2012.
Yeah, but they're a solid bourbon. I did a whiskey a week with them with the I think it was the Barrel Proof, whichever one. I think one of the ones I bought recently was really good. But anyway, TJ, did you get this? I sent this over to you on. Did Nick bring you the flask that Sunday?
Yeah. I still have it sitting on my thing. I tried it, the Legion. It's not bad.
It's actually pretty good. And you're talking about something.
It's like finished, right?
Yeah, it's finished in what is it? It's finished in wine and sherry cask. So I'm talking about port wine with Angels.
Yeah, so it's similar.
It's kind of similar to Angels Envy. It's you even look at the color of it too. It's probably similar to that. And it's actually, and like you said, it's smooth. It's smooth, and it's also very sweet as well. So it's like this is similar to that. If you want to introduce someone to a bourbon, I would suggest this one. This is they make the bourbon obviously in Kentucky or in the U.S. and they're using some guy from Japan. What is his name? He's a chief blender. His name is Shinji Funkuro. I'm probably messed that up. But they basically used an Eastern, obviously the Kentucky bourbon, which is the West, and then using the Eastern way of finishing the bourbon afterwards with the legendary blender. So that's why it's
Legion it's produced by Jim Beam. Same people that make Bookers and all that stuff.
Yeah, so it's good. Rich randomly bought this. He's like, oh, I know Anthony likes random bourbons. I'm going to pick this up. And we all had it. Did you have it that Saturday, or you didn't have it?
I did not. No,
I didn't try it. But
Stag Junior. I was drinking Stag Junior.
Yeah, we were drinking Stag Junior on Saturday. But
nice.
Here's TJ. If you get a chance, check it out. It's a good pour. Nick, you got anything or?
I am. I've been sitting here drinking a gift I got from the two of you, actually, some Elmer T. Lee.
Nice.
Ooh, nice. Very good.
The bottle got banged up.
Yeah. Right. You know what though? It was it's all good. It's all in good company, all in good love, and it was a great day overall. So why not? Fuck it. I think we drank half of it that day almost
the wedding,
or that morning, and then I probably drank a quarter just now sitting here.
Nice.
And you know what? Worth it because that was delicious bourbon. So thank you for sharing it with us because I was dreaming about that bourbon later that day. I was like, yeah, that's something.
The best way to do that is it is Blanton's, but a different mash bill. So a little bit of different flavor, but the same balanced smoothness that is just like coats the palate. And you're like, all right.
What's really wild about it was I think TJ, you were the one saying that the guy that made that liked to mix it with Sprite.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, if you throw an ice cube in something like that, they're like, how dare you? Oh my God, I can't believe the heresy.
Not here. We always say drink your bourbons however you like them.
That's it. That's it. But give me some first before you fucking ruin it.
That's true.
I always say I always say if someone asks for ice, I have the rocks in my fridge, which I did for Nick, Matt, and Rich.
I like my whiskey cold. And honestly, sometimes when you throw a cube in there, it just lets out different flavors. It makes things subtle. I know as far as Scotch is concerned, like Johnny Walker, when they do their tastings, they give you an eyedropper. And actually, did Woodford
yes, they did. A lot of them did. Woodford did. Old Forester did. Yeah, it's just a matter of changing the complex. You know what's funny though? I don't like dropping water into bourbons. The biggest difference I notice, and I've done the 1 drop or 2 drops of water, distilled water, scotches, single malt scotches, and especially peaty scotches from like the islands up in Scotland, Islay. The peaty scotches, the complexity completely changes when you put like 1 drop of distilled water in. So I used to like doing that. I haven't drank much scotch. I gotta start getting into that.
The scotch back up. We haven't had scotch in a long time. Scotch is whiskey, folks.
Yeah, we've been drinking too much bourbon.
Scottish whiskey.
There's no such thing as too much bourbon. But
that's true. No, I'm saying we just we just drink mainly bourbon.
We have to step our scotch game up.
a cold night, and Melendez flies out to right field.
And a warm night in Kansas City. That's
gone in the summertime, and that's October baseball, and that's where we end it. We'll catch y'all again next week. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Rook won't stop us again.